I waited like 7 years for that. All right, so yesterday I watched Devil May Cry on Netflix. It just came out. It was announced back in like 2018, I think. And yeah, it's been a while since the announcement. I know I'm pretty sure they've said that they jumped the gun on the announcement, and oh boy, could I fucking tell. But nonetheless, I've spent a third of my lifespan waiting in anticipation for the day that Devil May Cry would get an animated adaptation on Netflix. They got an animated adaptation before, back in 2007, and for what it is, it's alright. It's pretty good, decent, I'd say. 7.5 out of 10. You know, it's nothing special. There's not a whole lot of action, especially like, I think Dante Devil triggers, but we don't even get to see it. But, there are a couple episodes that I actually really liked. I forget, two episodes stuck out in my head. I don't remember what one of them was. Fucking my light doesn't even want to stay fucking connected. But this isn't about that anime. It's about the new one. And yeah, I don't really like it. I don't like it. This is more of a rant than a review. Maybe I'll give it like a full review in the future where my thoughts are a bit more collected, but I finished watching it last night. I gave myself time to sleep on it, and oh my god, like I actually hate it. I I hate it, and it's kind of baffling because it shouldn't have been that like hard to. I'll explain like this: the TLDR is it misses the core of Devil May Cry. The way it changes the lore just kind of lessens the impact of anything. The character development is non-existent, even though it's consistently hinted at, all to just kind of be undone. And my rating of the show would be a 7 out of 10. And then the last episode happens, specifically the ending. And I am being super serious when I say that after the way the show ends, my rating is a 4. A 4 out of 10. It is not good. So the things I like. People are iffy on Johnny Young Bosch's Dante. I'm here or there with it. I definitely felt it was distinct from his portrayal of Nero, but you definitely see a little bit of Nero in there. He feels more like Nero than DMC3 Dante, in my opinion. Maybe it's just sort of the way that he is. Maybe it's his hair. But to be fair, it's like I didn't really hear Nero. I had no problem seeing it as Dante. Maybe it's because Nero, for like a lot of his games, he's taking things a little more seriously than Dante, so we don't get to see him a lot in the like carefree, who gives a fuck, happy-go-lucky, fucking just talking shit to every boss world. He's especially in 5, like I think he only like really talks shit with one boss. But I liked him. The action is there are some action scenes that I liked. I don't like the like CG for the demons, but like the motorcycle scene I thought was pretty cool. The fight with Agni and Rudra I thought was pretty alright. The like final fight was okay. Maybe I don't like the fight scene. I think the action was alright. And there are interesting ideas thrown around, but those fall flat because they don't get the time they need to develop, or they're undone by the ending, or they just go nowhere. So I'll give an example, because now we're getting to the bad stuff. The biggest outlier of the show being bad is Mary. Not Lady. It's not Lady. That character is not Lady. That is Mary. She is annoying. She is not a good person. And worst of all, she is fucking stupid. Brain dead. Actually, it's insanely fucking dumb. So, the thing, like, okay, she's part of the, like, government agency that fights demons. I don't have a problem with that. Most of the changes to, like, the setups, a lot of the changes I was fine with. I went in open because it's not canon, and if I just wanted DMC3 or the DMC3 manga, I would play or read it. I'm fine with things being different. I was into a lot of, like, the changes. But it's just, it for me, I've always said that for an adaptation, I think the first the first, like the starting point of what you do should basically just be like 100% to showcase your understanding of the source material. This was not that. I don't think they understood the source material, but it's like for an adaptation, I don't need the events of this to play out exactly like the manga or to lead into DMC3, but the lore I feel like was just it doesn't have to be 1-to-1, but it should at least be like 1-to-1.5. This was like 1-to-10. It's just not right, and the characterizations is the other major issue, especially with Lady. The few idea. All right, so in DMC3, Lady doesn't like demons, but that's not like her main beef. Her main beef is with Arkham, her father, who was seduced by demonic power and killed her mother, and was also a mega dick because fucking he was masterminding the whole event and stabbed her. And yeah, she did not have a lot of happy thoughts with Arkham, but that was the horcrux of it. Today, she didn't like demons because like she's racist. She didn't like demons because like she had a very biased like viewpoint. I mean, the only demons she interacts with are the fodder demons that don't talk and just mindlessly attack her. And then the only other real source is Arkham, who was seduced by demonic power and turned into a demon himself. Yeah, they kind of get. I mean, she doesn't like demons. They make it very clear she doesn't like demons. Let me rephrase that. They fucking make it very fucking clear that she fucking does not fucking like fucking demons. That's how she talks in this show. So she's the one who gives the backstory of Sparta, and every other line, I swear to God, is something like, yeah, the fucking bastard. Or it's like, least you could fucking do. And it's like, I don't need your commentary when you're already just shamelessly spouting exposition at me. I know Lady doesn't like demons. That's a part of her character. And you could have just showcased that with the way she's dismissive, like they do in DMC3. She doesn't hate demons, but she's dismissive of them. She's dismissive of Dante, because Dante's not taking this shit seriously. But when he does try and be like, hey, my family's dysfunctional too, she's immediately like, what the fuck do you know? Because she doesn't understand that he also has feelings, that he feels a type of way about Virgil, about Sparta, about his mother. And it's through her clashes with Dante that she learns that he can feel that. But that doesn't happen in the show. They get so close to almost sort of doing something, but it just all is thrown away or falls flat. There's a part early on where so the White Rabbit gets both parts of the amulet. If you know anything about Devil May Cry, you know, that's a problem. He gets both parts of the amulet, and they are going to him, and her whole squad gets wiped. And I don't care about these characters enough for that to mean anything to me, but her whole squad gets wiped, and they toy with the idea of her blaming herself because she's the one who's like, this is her, like, this is beyond, like, her duty. This is her passion, is demon hunting. They work with the fucking government. They work with fucking Batman. And they toy with the idea, but they don't do anything with it. They don't do anything with it. It's like, it doesn't go anywhere except for like a scarecrow fear toxin hallucination where she sees her dead fucking coworkers and they're saying like, this is your fault. Even though, to be fair, I think they'd have done the same thing if Lady wasn't there. They didn't feel like, hey, we should, go in with cooler heads and hey, things aren't adding up. Like, what's up with these demons don't seem like fully evil, or like, hey, maybe we should like trust this Dante guy, and she like rejects it. No, I think they're all on board with the like, yeah, let's go kill these fucking things. So really, it's not even like her fault. And they toy with the idea of her redemption because she finds out that in the like building they're in, there's demon refugees who they couldn't make it in the demon world, so they came over because the demon world is basically, you can't live there. It's toxic, it's dangerous, it is not a safe place to live. But they also can't live in the human world because they're demons. So there's these refugees. So they have her sort of have a change of heart of like, okay, these are people, and they helped her. They actively saved her life. And she's like, okay, I'm gonna try to make things right. But they like she does, and fucking then Batman undoes that because I guess we needed a hateable character. But it goes into one of my other issues is the original lore. The way the original demons was that it was like a savage wasteland. They were maybe not inherently evil, but like they had an inherent lust for power. That is what makes Sparta such a big deal, is that he was like, no, this isn't right. And we don't know why. But I think given like the context of the other games, we could tell it's because he met Eva, Dante's mother. Like he met Eva who showed him compassion and humanity, and that awoken the humanity in him, because the Horcrux of Devil May Cry is that, why do I use the term Horcrux so much? I'm not a Harry Potter fan, and that's not even what that word means. You know, humans can, I mean, the core of the story is about the family, but like the point of Lady's arc is seeing that Dante's a demon with humanity who has a genuine care for his responsibility as someone involved in this, as someone who is linked to this. His father's legacy is now down to him and his brother, and and Dante's kind and compassionate like any human, as opposed to her father, who was fully human yet was seduced by the dark powers of demonic energy and turned himself into a demon. So like we didn't need like the average demon to be like an innocent, because the way they frame it is that Sparta's kind of a dick. He seals the demon world off from the human world and leaves all the innocent demons under the rule of fucking Mundus. They call him Mundus, which was a nitpick when I started watching the show, but after I think they think it's pronounced that way. And he like leaves himself in the human world and just, I guess, abandoned his family. So why did he even stay in the human world? I guess they kind of play up the like, where could he be, because he's clearly not in the human world, because why has Dante never met him? But he's clearly not in the demon world, because why is Mundus still walking around fucking shit up? But it just having them be normal and refugees, and having, I guess, us be the bad guys. That's the other thing, is it's a completely unnecessary humans are the real evil kind of thing. That's just it's not what Devil May Cry is about. The core, there are a lot of things that happen that I would let slide, that I would consider not Devil May Cry. A lot of the, and I mean this literally when I say political stuff, like presidents, vice presidents, government organizations, like political stuff. Like that's not what Devil May Cry is, but it can be supplementary if you get the core. And the core of Devil May Cry is family. It's always been family. That's why every game has a good story, or at least a good outline of a story, except for DMC 2. It's like Devil May Cry 1. Well, yeah, it's about his like following his father's footsteps and avenging the deaths of his mother and his brother. Devil May Cry 3, it's about him accepting his heritage, not just as a demon, but as the son of the most important demon, and that he has a responsibility to carry on that legacy. DMC 4, it's about, like, yeah, Nero's a demon, but like the humans who want the demonic power, they can't fully use it because they lack the compassion that Sparta did, the humanity that Sparta had, and Nero feels that compassion and humanity in his need to protect Kyrie. And Devil May Cry 5 is about how Nero's like, I know that my family's flawed and they're bad people, but they're my family. But that core is entirely missing because of the other problem. What the fuck happened to Dante? Alright, he's characterized well enough. He's quippy, he's fine. But there's two problems. One, he does not get nearly enough screen time. Like, he barely does anything. And two, he is getting his ass kicked constantly. Which is like, what? Like, ladies out here, like, taking hits that should be at least knocking her out. And, you know, one-shotting the demons, which they're very picky on whether or not they're anti-demon bullets. I'll get into that later. Can one-shot demons or not. But then Dante's out here just kind of usually getting his ass kicked and needing to be saved. Like, what's going on, man? What's up, Dante? What's going on? I think a big part of this issue is they don't give him the characterization he has in Devil May Cry 3, where he knows he's part demon. He knows Sparta's his father, but he is denying it. He's in denial of him even having a father, because that is better than him being a demon. But he knows, deep down, he knows he's a demon. He doesn't think like, oh, I'm just some like super human mutant. He knows that he's a demon. He at the very least knows he's like not human. I know they have the who knows, I'm not even sure myself, but he knows, he's in denial of it. Like That's a pretty important part of that story, is the denial of it and then acceptance. In here, he never really he denies that he's demon, but it's because he genuinely doesn't think that he could possibly be demon because he's a demon hunter. And once he does and finds out that he's a son of Sparta, he's just like, yeah, I think I'm the son of Sparta. Like that, him accepting that, not only accepting that, but then accepting the responsibility that comes with that is something that is massively important in Devil May Cry 3's story. And they try to do something, but they don't have that moment of connection. It's just he gets his devil trigger, which is super lame, by the way. It looks like shit. And he just kind of gets it out of emotion, like getting pushed around emotionally, as opposed to it being an awakening like every other game where it's a pretty tried to true formula. Dante gets stabbed, some shit awakens. It's a tried to true formula. The two best Devil May Cry games have that. One kind of has that. I mean, you technically get the devil trigger after getting Alistair. But like Dante's constantly getting beaten or captured or thrown around. Something so in the beginning of the show, they have a bunch of mercenaries ambush Dante's apartment. And he not only senses that they're all coming before they even enter the building, he knows that they're coming. He knows that Enzo set him up. He knows what's about to happen. He's dodging bullets. He's deflecting machine gun rounds. Every time Lady attacks him, it works. Every single time that Lady attacks Dante, it works. She can shoot him with one bullet, and he will not dodge it. He will not deflect it. Every single time it works. Every single time. Every trap. Fucking like knockout serum works on him. After he gets stabbed by the Devil Sword Sparta, like I think he should be a little bit more resilient than that. This is a messy rant because this isn't scripted, as you can clearly tell. But to bring it back to more stuff with the lore, like by making Sparta not like noble and a hero, why do I give a fuck about what Dante does? Because Dante has that realization of, Sparta overcame his demonic instinct of like, being evil. He overcame the darkness. And yeah, Dante's like, and he says, like, Sparta could do it, then I can overcome that darkness that is also within me. But the issue is, they don't present being demon as being inherently dark. That's the issue with the demon, I think they're Macayans. That's the issue with them, is that once you show that side of the demons, well, the demons aren't inherently dark, so what darkness does Dante have? None. Which is extra stupid, because when he gets his devil trigger, they play Devil Trigger. Nero's theme. They play Devil Trigger. And it's like, okay, sure, it works. He's embracing the darkness that's within him, except he's not, because it's not darkness. They go out of their way to hammer over your head, it's not darkness. It's like, demons aren't inherently bad. Humans are the real bad guys because they killed all the demon refugees when they found them. It's like, so Devil Trigger doesn't work because it's all about a song of embracing the darkness, because it works for Nero because they made the song for him. I mean, it fits him in DMC 4 a little bit more, in my opinion, but it's like embracing the darkness. If it means he can protect the people he cares about, he doesn't care if he's a demon, the thing that he was raised to be inherently against. But he can embrace it to protect the people he cares about. He's not hiding it anymore, because in the start of the game, he knew it was a bad thing that he had to hide and come to accept, and he's not hiding it anymore. That's the point of the song and why it works for Nero, but that doesn't work for Dante, because the demonic part apparently isn't darkness, and he was never hiding. He was just in his apartment. He has a lease. He's got a fucking social security, probably. So they get to the point towards the end. The White Rabbit, his whole thing is just bringing down DARTCOM, which is like the anti-government, the anti-demon government organization run by the vice president. And that's like they hint it's like, oh, he has an ulterior motive that's not the liberation of the innocent demons. It's taking down DARTCOM, which is a lame ulterior motive, because that's a win-win for him. I don't know why the other demons would be like, nah, he's lying to us. They don't do that, but they hint at it, and it just doesn't work. But so like the White Rabbit, first of all, he tries to show Dante the demon world, like the fate that Sparta had left for the demon world. but he just kind of shows him a part that smells like shit. Like a part where the air is unbreathable. He doesn't show the carnage, the innocents being killed. So like on one hand, it totally makes sense for Dante to be like, nah, I'm not on your side, because like you just showed me a part that's stank and like it sucks to breathe there, but who cares? But on the other hand, it's like, well, the whole point of the show is to try to make Sparta seem like he's not that good a guy. So why do I care about Dante wanting to uphold his legacy? Why would I root for that? And it's just, I don't get it. There's some weird sci-fi bullshit. I hate the whole, like, they have anti-demon tech. I think that's dumb. I don't think it's necessary. Fucking DMC5, Nico kicked a demon out of her fucking van using a cigarette. Like, they could just die to bullets. Like, for the most, like, they could just die to bullets. They have in the past, they do in every other game. Yeah, Dante's bullets are charged, but Lady had no problem. And oh, a big demon? Well, she has a rocket launcher. Like, they can just die to bullets. That could be a thing. Hell, it works for Dante, which I'll get into a thing with him and bullets in a second. But it's so weird. It's like they explain that the demon world and the human world used to be one, but then like split, and now they're like parallel universes. A problem I noticed, because as much as I hate to admit it, I've been on Reddit. I've been on the Devil May Cry subreddit, seeing what other people think. And someone brought up that like the demon world in this show is treated as just another place. It's not treated like the demon world, the underworld. Something about the games, like every game has a different look for the demon world, which is something I find interesting. Like it's such a weird abstract place that doesn't really make sense. And that's like a super cool, like mystifying aspect. All the like darkness and dark magic. But here it's just a place that smells like shit. As far as I can tell, it's just another place. Like it might as well just be another country. It might as well be another planet. Like what's the lure of the demon world? I don't get it. But it's like, oh, and then it's sort of like what it is in the games, where like the amulets are the key to sealing the demon world, but it's like they're super scientific about it for no reason at all. And like demons are like descendants to humans, or not descendants, they were like a separate evolutionary ladder to humans, you know, sure. And it's like the big ones, and then Sparta sealed the things off. But like, was that necessary? And it's like the tech, they have demon bullets, they shoot a demon and the juice makes it explode. Okay, it could have been as simple as you shoot the demon, it dies. Because that's how it works for Dante. That's how it works in the games. That's generally how it works. You shoot them, they die. Like sure, Ebony and Ivory are magic, but then there's fucking the coyote. That's just a shotgun he found on the floor. Yeah, that works. Fucking shreds them. Stronger than Ebony and Ivory, that were custom made for him. Speaking of Ebony and Ivory, there are a few things in the show. I want to say two things about the show, because if it were just bad and didn't really do the lore justice, that would be one thing. But like, there's an inherent apathy towards what Devil May Cry is, aside from the themes of family, and there's a clear lack of care, because one of the trailers ended with, "Oh shit, that's Virgil." And there's a couple things wrong with that. For one, that wasn't Virgil. That was a fake out. And I knew it was a fake out because they showed that scene before the show came out. They showed us that scene. We got to see that it wasn't Virgil. It was Plasma, who was a fodder-ass enemy in Devil May Cry 1, by the way. But that's neither here nor there. That's a nitpick, if anything. But it's like, so like, why are you trying to lure us in by showing Virgil in a trailer if you're also willing to show us that full scene and show us that it's not even Virgil? Like, are you ratings trapping or not? Like, are you trying to lure me in or not? And the other thing is, Dante never gets Ebony and Ivory. Which, that could sound like a small thing until you realize that Ebony and Ivory are more iconic to the series than the Rebellion. He is used, the first weapon we ever see Dante wield is Ebony and Ivory. Like, they are in more games than the Rebellion. He never gets Ebony and Ivory. His iconic guns. Like, and they make a point to show that, like, the guns he used breaks. You would think that's building to something that's gonna happen, and it never does. They name drop Goldstein. It never happens. He never. I thought they were gonna do some. I mean, it's an adaptation, so I wouldn't have minded if it was he found Ebony and Ivory as part of Darkham's guns and took them for himself because hey, I can use these as much as I want and they won't break. Even though in the original like timeline he knew Nell Goldstein and was her friend, but he doesn't use Ebony and Ivory, and that's such an oversight because like none of the thing like the rebellion is just a sword. It's just a sword. He gets his devil trigger because he just gets it. Like he doesn't get it when he's and they call it devil trigger, which is a nitpick, but I always like kind of hate when games like in the story like refer to game mechanics to the way we know them. Like to Dante, that's just his demon form. I don't think that I think they might call it a devil trigger at some point, but it's like it's just the demon form. It's the demonic awakening. You know, the rabbit says like he it's a whole thing about like the demonic rabbit has a bunch of people on a plane and he's saying like, "Oh, Dante will save you. He'll activate his devil trigger." And it's like he could have just said the demon inside him will awaken and he will save you. And it would have been just as effective and it wouldn't have felt as like it's weird because Dante gets it and it's just his hand, but he's like, "I think it's my devil trigger. Also, I think I'm the son of Sparta." And it's just it's lame. It's just lame. But this, yeah, just the fact he doesn't get Ebony and Ivory, you know, and the stuff with Virgil and the marketing, it feels like they didn't care. There's too much licensed music. Yeah, it fits, and I liked it for the marketing because it felt very like in tune with early Devil May Cry. I mean, the era that Devil May Cry came out in. It felt very in tune with like, oh yeah, Dante never listens to like Limp Bizkit. The original song that does like I think it plays once is Evanescence. It's like okay, you know this makes sense, but like this brings us into another issue where it just feels like this wasn't made by fans of the games. This felt like it was made by fans of the memes. You know, like the Virgil status memes where like it's porn, and then before you see any like actual graphic nudity, Virgil Judgment cuts the screen away and does a combo. Because I mentioned Devil Trigger plays, and it doesn't fit. It doesn't play a lot, but there are only 3 instances where a song from the games plays. Or 3 songs from the games and 3 instances in the show. Devil's Never Cry plays during the credits. That doesn't really count, but it counts as one of the songs played. Virgil has, I'll be gracious, 2.5 scenes. He has 3 scenes, but we're not supposed to know it's a Virgil in one of them, unless you're not stupid, in which case you will obviously know it's Virgil. But he has 2 scenes, and in both, or in the first one, it's not even Virgil, but in both they play Bury the Light. The song that the show ends on, this is not the show, but the song that the show ends on is Bury the Light, which is a song that works after his development in Devil May Cry 5, which, yeah, I think it was a little underdeveloped, but like that's the point of the song. The whole point of the ending of that song with the demonic voice and the human voice was the same thing that Devil's Never Cry did with the demonic voice and human voice. It's him going through the same development as Dante to a lesser extent, a more accepting himself as whole, which he hasn't happened yet because he still serves Mundus. And I don't even know if it's willingly or not in this show. That's another thing. Oh, when I get to the ending. Ooh, when I get to the ending. But there's just so much licensed music during fights, and I'm like, why spend that money? You could have played Taste the Blood, Shall Never Surrender. Actually, I think Crimson Cloud technically plays, but I didn't catch it. I just saw people talking about it, so that counts. But it's like, you know, Taste the Blood, Divine Hate, Shall Never Surrender, Lock and Load, Pubic Enemy, fucking Blackened Angel. Is that Neo Blackened Angel? Yeah, that's Neo Angel's theme. You could have played music from the games. Like, yeah, it took Sonic 3 movies to figure out that people want that, but like when they did it, I think they did it pretty good. But here it's like, it's in place of where it's like you could have had some. I mean, there's a part where he literally plays look, I love Guerrilla Radio by Rage Against the Machine, but like there's a part where he plays it on his record player in his office, and I'm like, why did you play Dante's Office from Mission 1 of Devil May Cry 3? That would have been an awesome reference. Hell, there's the other episode of the original anime I like. It's the one about the singer. Play the song from that, because that would have been a deep cut reference that people, if they noticed it, would have fucking loved. But no, he plays Guerrilla Radio, and they make a point to have one of the mercenaries running up the stairs and go, this guy has good music taste. Like, okay. Why did he say that? Most of the like lines feel stupid. There are multiple instances. So the White Rabbit gets the Force Edge, which is just, first of all, how the fuck did the Force Edge get into a random ass museum? If the amulet got to Eva and her kids, that's one thing, but that's neither here nor there. But the White Rabbit gets the Force Edge and the amulets pretty early on, and there are like three interactions that go, if you have the Force Edge and the amulets, then why aren't you opening the portal? And he goes, huh, I thought you'd be smarter than that. Yes, why indeed would I not do that? And they go, huh, there must be something else, but what is it? Yes, what indeed? What else might I need? Obviously he needs Dante. This dude has a boner for Dante the entire show. Fucking there are multiple scenes like that, and I don't get why. I don't understand why. Because it's not funny. It's not like clever. I know what he needs. He needs the blood of Sparta. I told my buddy Jeffrey. I told my buddy Jeffrey that I'd like to preemptively apologize for the person I'm going to become over the next couple weeks. Because I've been talking to him because we're both big Devil May Cry fans. And this motherfucker texts me back. You know what we gotta watch to make you feel better? Minecraft movie. Go fuck yourself, Jeffrey. Anyway, so episode 6, I think is a decent episode in a vacuum. I don't really like it because it clashes with the tone of the show, which is very much action oriented because the story's dog shit and they're trying to hide that from you. But episode 6, you learn Lady's backstory and you learn the White Rabbit's backstory. The White Rabbit is a human who got transported to the demon world and was raised by innocent Makaians, innocent demons. And eventually, like, when he grows up, and they're like, okay, we can't live here anymore. He manages to make a device to open a portal, like a small portal, permanently that he can use to transport people. And he does that, and then Lady and her crew, because Lady's backstory, first of all, is botched. I'll get into that in a second. But Lady and her crew see them as they come out of a portal and just kill all of them, except for the White Rabbit. I mean, she thinks the White Rabbit's dead because she like threw a belt grenade because one of the actual demon monsters came through the portal, so they opened fire on all of them and not just the big demon, but the ones running away in fear. Like, they look like they were going to hear this dude out, and then the big demon comes and everyone starts running, and they're like, oh, just got to get them all. Just got to get that one, get that baby, can't let the baby get away. But it's like, okay. So that's his backstory, and they reveal pretty late, or he reveals that to Lady pretty late. But there's a point where I feel like it should have happened already. So there's the point when the White Rabbit's like, Dante needs to come, or I tell my army to fuck shit up. And Dante is like, look, not only do I need to get back the amulet that I promised to protect, but this is my responsibility. This was caused by my father. This is my responsibility. I have to confront this darkness within me and follow in my father's footsteps. But Lady traps him in a truck that should not be able to hold him, especially post Devil Trigger, and goes to fight him herself for a reason that makes sense. Like, he needs your blood, dumbass. Don't go give it to him, because if he hits you once, it's over. But like, he should have revealed who he was when he said, come here, and revealed his plan, also his vendetta against Darkon. He didn't reveal it, but he should have revealed it to her. And to Dante, it doesn't mean anything, but to her, she's like, oh, like, this is after her development with the other refugees. So she's like, oh shit, like, I created this monster. So then she becomes, the reason she's like, I need to do this, not you, Dante, is because this is my fault. I created, like, your father may have made the wall, but I made the White Rabbit. Like, he is doing this because of something I did. So I need to confront that. That's not what happens. She just goes alone and gets hit, like, she didn't get her ass kicked, but like, she just gets incapacitated pretty quickly, and then Dante shows up. Okay. Which leads us into the last thing. First of all, I hate Kevin Conroy's character. You have no idea how much that pains me to say. I hate his character. He does not shut up about God's will and God's plan. Buddy, it's 2025. You can't be bumping God's plan anymore, man. In a post-Super Bowl world, you can't be bumping God's plan like that. He just does not shut up. The entire time, I'm like, oh my God, when will this dude just die so that he stops talking? God will let you redeem yourself for being a demon, Dante. God's will not let me die. God's will is fucking coming in my ass, Dante. He does not shut up. It's clear he does not care about anything. And there's a heel turn moment to this after they think they've beaten the White Rabbit, and the Darkholm shows up, and he goes to Lady, and it's like, or Lady is like, I need the amulet because like that is my job to get that, and we'll keep it safe. And Dante's like, you can't trust these people, but she thinks she can. And then the vice president, Batman, walks up and goes, your team was expendable, you're expendable, you were just supposed to give me the fucking Force Edge and the amulet, and you didn't do either of those things. But then at the end, after Dante, I mean, she technically kills the White Rabbit finally, but after he crashes out, Devil triggers, kills the White Rabbit once and for all, and reseals the demon world away, she fucking betrays him. She betrays him and hands him over to Darkholm along with the amulet and the Force Edge. Why does she do that? Why does she do that? She's stupid, because the guy she's doing this for literally can't, like, literally it said to her face that her friends that she feels guilt over the deaths of are expendable and didn't matter. So why is she trusting this dude to take better care of the most powerful weapon in the universe than the dude who clearly cares about this a lot? At no point does Lady stop to realize that things were going pretty decently until they started interfering. That Dante kept the amulet safe for a pretty good while until Darkholm showed up. That every time Darkholm pulled up, things got worse. And she's still, at the end, after her supposed development and when she's supposed to have warmed up to Dante, still chooses to betray him and hand him over to fucking the vice president. And the ending. So, I said, the show was a 7 because it had interesting ideas. It kept kind of pulling me back, but then the ending with her betrayal, and they invade the the US invades the demon world, starts setting up fucking concentration camps, and so they play American Idiot, and you might think that that's the point, is that it's like a parody, but I don't think that, because the political messaging is so ham-fisted and on the nose and not good that I think they are genuinely playing American Idiot. I don't think that's part of the joke. The Naked Gun teaser recently came out, and it plays Sound of the Police, which if you've listened to that song, you know that's not a pro-cop song, but I felt like that was part of the joke. I feel like that fit the tone like Naked Gun had, that's like, yeah, they're idiots. They don't know that this is not a pro-cop song. But here, I don't think it's a joke. It feels like it's genuinely played, because like the message is so humans in America bad, and it's so ham-fisted and in your face. It'd be like if I just showed you pictures of slavery and said, look guys, in this deep messaging, it's not deep. This is as shallow as you can get. It's America bad, and there's no nuance. And how did we even occupy the demon world? But it's like, how do we even occupy the demon world? At the start of the show, we couldn't handle this shit. We couldn't handle these guys. We couldn't handle the few demons that came over. Now we're going into their world where we can't breathe. And there's bigger ones that are more dangerous. And Mundus wasn't just like, let me just like Zahando wipe them from existence. That should have been the ending. Honestly, it would still be a 7, maybe even a 7.5 if the ending was Dante and Lady see that the vice president is planning to invade the demon world, and it's A, they need to stop him because like that's fucked up, and B, like they need to stop him because he's gonna get a lot of people killed for this, because we can't win. That's the whole, like the horcrux of Devil May Cry, is that like the only people who can do anything are related to this family in some way. It's this group, this clique. It's Sparta's descendants and their allies, because humanity can't. DMC, like this show takes place in like maybe 2001. It doesn't take place in the modern day. DMC5, after like, look, I know the 10-minute Gru made news. I just know that that DMC3 made news, that there were demons, and like we knew about this shit in DMC3. There's no way it didn't. But in DMC5, the military can't do anything. They can't stop the demons. They are not equipped to handle the higher profile demons. So like we should not be able to go into the demon world and take any land. And they show fucking Aureus and Ouroboros. Like I was gonna get hype over that. Fucking Aureus from Devil May Cry 2, who has like 4 lines of dialogue max, that I was gonna be like, oh shit, it's Aureus and Ouroboros. No, because not only did you just squander all the development you we're kind of giving to Lady. I mean, she's still a terrible person the entire time. Like, she does not grow to at all, really, like in terms of her personality. She does not grow accepting or understanding of anything, even if she's not like super demon racist anymore. Which, for the record, every bad thing that's happening to the demons is now on, like, that's a sin on Lady's shoulders. Fucking Kratos would be like, God damn, you've done some fuck shit. Even fucking, like, obviously Kratos is worse, but like, yeah, like, the amount of deaths on her conscience is like, man, that's getting up there with Kratos. Because like all the bad, like all this that she has to live with, and it's like, I don't want to see her get redeemed, because her redemption was supposed to be when she decided to save the refugees in the building, and then like trust and learn to like trust Dante, and she should have left Darkcom, and they would have made the Devil May Cry. Which, by the way, they don't say Devil May Cry again, a nitpick, but it's like, come on, man, it's like the thing, it's the title of the show. Said he has a shop, and it's called the Devil May Cry. But it's like, instead she betrays him. It would be one thing if she injected him, but she had to have given all that again to Darkcom. Which, first of all, I think Game Lady could take out all of Darkcom. I think DMC3 Lady could take out all of fucking Darkcom. Let alone Dante and Lady. But it's like, she still gave that stuff up. Like, if there's another season, which they're sequel baiting another season, it's like, I don't want to see Dante forgive Lady. I want to see him fucking curb stomp her. Like, I don't care if she feels bad. She felt bad back in episode like 4. Like, you showed me her feeling bad and trying to do the right thing and trying to keep people safe. I mean, she never like apologizes for killing all of the rabbit guy's friends and family, but it's like, they show her and disfiguring him like shit. Like, he's fucked up. But and she doesn't apologize for that. But like, they've been showing us her feeling sorry and starting to grow and change, only for her to turn around and like, I don't care. Like, I know it was Bane, the vice president's name is Bane. I know it was him who sent the jets in, but the fact that Dante wasn't there to stop them is entirely her fault. Everything, like, most of what's happening after is her fault. I don't want to see her get, I don't want to see her get better. I want to see her die. Because not only is she annoying the whole time and doesn't grow, and then, you know, right when you think she's grown, she regresses. She regresses right back. And it's not like, oh, it's because she still hates demons. It's because she's stupid. DMC3, you could say that, like, you know, it's a little weird of, like, you know, the whole point of her story is realizing that she's not strong enough as just a human. But that's like a way you could see it. And you're not wrong for seeing it that way. But the way I see it is choosing to trust Dante. Like, she learns to trust Dante, even if she still doesn't like the idea and still feels like it's her responsibility to stop Arkham. She can see that Dante also has stake in this, and she can and needs to trust him to do it. That's why she gives him the Kalina Ann, is because she not only trusts, like, she trusts him. It's like, this is also your fight, and this is your fight bigger than it's my fight, because this is bigger than your family being dicks. This is your family legacy. And, like, you know, she doesn't fully, I mean, she does kind of just fully like him, but it's like, it is okay, I can trust him. You know, he's trying to do the right thing. He's not just here for shits and giggles to kill people. You know, he has the same passion that I do for this. He has the same drive, the same, dare I say, motivation as me. And I can trust him to deal with this, to handle this. Because after all Lady's been through, she can't. Her leg is injured. She is only human. She's been here for hours. She can't keep up with Dante. And it makes sense. It's a natural conclusion of the entire time. And it's also then because of Lady that Dante sees her motivation and comes to understand, like, this is my family too. Like, this is, like, I should be doing what she's doing. I should be fighting for what she's fighting for. It doesn't matter that Virgil's here and I want to kill him. Like, this is bigger than that. And she sees it's bigger than that. Even if she doesn't see the fuller picture and, like, the way Sparta and my family ties into all this, she knows that this is a little bit bigger than just vengeance. This is bigger than just revenge and not liking him. This is responsibility for her. This is a duty for her. Something she has to do, because who else would? Who else has that stake in this of my father's doing something bad, I have to stop him. And Dante comes to have that same motivation of my brother's doing something bad, I have to stop him, even if that means killing him. But Lady in the show doesn't change. She doesn't grow. She like becomes slightly less annoying in the sense that she didn't. I mean, when after the demons help her, she immediately pulls a gun on them. But that's just so that they get spout exposition about Machins. And she tries to save them, even if Bane said kill them all, which was a scene that I didn't need. But it's like, what am I supposed to get from that? Like, she chooses, like, that's not even humanity. She chooses the government at the end. And it all goes back to, by making humanity and demons not black and white, it changes what the story's about in a way that is not Devil May Cry. Not to be like an elitist or like to gatekeep, but like a lot of the good things I'm seeing are like just saying it's like they like the changes, which first of all, even as a non-Devil May Cry fan, like it doesn't fix that lady's annoying and doesn't grow. And she doesn't grow as a person. Dante has an arguably more interesting story as his family is involved in this, but that's not expanded on. You're just supposed to sort of know that from the games, which is weird because the show isn't made for people who already know things because they should spend a lot of time explaining things. Right. The changes and making, adding a nuance that isn't there to enhance the story. It's there to enhance the message of humanity and America bad. And listen, fucker, I know the American government is bad. I live here. I don't need that in my Devil May Cry. Metal Gear, yeah, that would make perfect sense. I mean, it would have been done with way more tact, way more subtlety. It would have been well written, well shown. I mean, like, if this were truly about, like, making the demons, like, having me genuinely care about the demons and, like, sending a genuine message, it would be so, like, when you watch or read something that has a profound message, like, you feel it. You don't feel like you're being lectured at. You feel like you are being sent a message. And this is trying to get like brownie points out of you, because if it were really trying, then why do the innocent demons look like people? If it were really trying to get me to sympathize with the demons that I've been slaughtering ever since Devil May Cry 1, then like don't make the innocent demons just look like people. Make them look like fucking Argisax. Not Argisax, that's a bad example. Make them look like fucking Nightmare. Make them look like Phantom. Throw me a fucking Hell Vanguard. Make me feel bad for that fucking guy. Like, if it were being genuine, that's what it would have been. It would have shown those characters. Or those demons as the innocent ones. Not some that just look like people, or look like the fuckers from Home. It's not like a genuine message, and it doesn't fit in place of the family themes that Devil May Cry is about at the end of the day. It could have been fine if it were supplementary to those family themes. Same thing with the changes to the lore. But they changed the family themes. Because why do I care about Dante accepting Sparta when Sparta's a dickhead and a deadbeat dad? And, like, why do I care about that? But when Sparta is, he's a noble demon, a legend, a demon that is worshipped as a god by humanity. And, like, so when I see Dante follow those footsteps, it means something. When he seals away Mundus, it means something. When he achieves his own devil sword, it means something because he is following his father's footsteps. And his father was a noble warrior, and like the less we knew about him, it kind of adds to like the mystery and stuff. But we know that we're seeing Dante follow those footsteps even if he doesn't know. When he kills Argisax, something his father couldn't do. He destroys the hell portal, something his father couldn't do. When we watch Dante become and then surpass Sparta, and that means something because we, even in Devil May Cry 1, even though it's just told to us, but we can see the legacy of Sparta. We can feel the legacy of Sparta when the other demons talk about it. And that's gone because this Sparta isn't noble. And they could have made it a morally gray area if they had, because I was thinking, how are they going to make Sparta the good guy if, honestly, the demon has a point. He left all the demons with Mundus. They don't like Mundus either. He's a tyrant. They don't like him either. But he still sealed all of them with him in a place that has become uninhabitable. But like, I thought the way they were gonna go was that Sparta was like, I didn't have a choice. It was like, what else was Sparta supposed to do? Let Mundus rule over both worlds? Like, he made a sacrifice, and it wasn't an easy sacrifice, but it was a sacrifice that he felt he had to make. That's a good way of adding a moral ambiguity that still keeps Sparta somewhat noble. It's still a, it was about stopping Mundus from making things worse for more people. I couldn't save my people, but I could save your people. That would have been a great way to take it if you wanted to do something different, but they don't. I don't like Sparta. Hell, I'm rooting for Mundus at this point. The show ends with Virgil saying he is the storm. And if that doesn't like kind of, that would have been fine if I liked the show. It's one of those things where in a better show that would have been fine. Like, it would have been cheesy in a good way, but it's just corny. It's just like, come on, dude. Like, do you know anything about Virgil aside from Bury the Light? Come on, man. You know he's Nello Angelo. He's if you didn't know that Nello Angelo looked cool, not like shit. Virgil's also possibly work. I'm not gonna get too into it because it's like the next season, if it happens, and if I watch it, we'll explain it. But Virgil is working for Mundus, and it's not clear if he's corrupted or not. And it like, not that I need it to be one-to-one to the games, but a big part of, I mean, it's a hindsight thing because DMC 3 obviously came out after, but a part of why Nello Angelo is such an interesting thing for Dante is that it's Dante's failure to save his brother that caused that. Like, it created Nello Angelo, a blind servant of the tyrant that killed their family. Dante couldn't save his brother, and that's what he became. That's what makes him interesting. I don't know what Dante and Virgil are going to talk about when they meet. I don't. Okay, I've been going for like 50 minutes, and I don't want to have to work too hard editing this. I can already see that the fucking video is delayed, so that's going to be fun. But my final thoughts are, it does a lot of things that are interesting, but they don't go anywhere. They've removed the changes to the lore aren't changes that serve a purpose for the most part. They either make things worse or they're superfluous. They don't matter. Like, why change it? Like, Dante's amulet, like, why doesn't it look like the old one? It doesn't matter, but it's like, what was the reason behind that? Why doesn't he get ebony and ivory? It didn't ruin the show. If it wasn't for the ending, that wouldn't have been a huge mark on the show. But the fact is, the ending, by being so bad, highlights the lack of understanding of Devil May Cry and why fans like Devil May Cry for the story. It's obvious. It's like, it's easy for someone who isn't as into Devil May Cry. And I'm not blaming you or trying to gatekeep. It's super hard for me to not gatekeep when it comes to stuff like this, because most of the like positive reviews I've seen are like, fans are just not happy. It's like, it's just the fans, you know, why would I listen to the fans? But it's like, because we know what we're talking about and we know what we like for a thing called Devil May Cry. And it wouldn't be such a big deal if Devil May Cry weren't one of the forgotten franchises that Capcom doesn't give a shit about anymore. Like, a Resident Evil spinoff being bad, that's one thing. We're gonna get a new Resident Evil thing in 5 minutes. Like, who cares? The Monster Hunter movie being bad, it doesn't matter. We got Rise like super late. When did Rise come out? Or the movie? I'm not a Monster Hunter fan. That's Heinz. But it's like a Devil May Cry thing. This is the first Devil May Cry thing we've got since 5. Special edition does not count. This is the first new Devil May Cry thing we've gotten since 5. It's been 6 years. It has been 6 years and an extra year since they announced it. I have spent a third of my life waiting for this show. Do you understand that? I have spent a third of my life waiting for the show, and it fundamentally does not understand Devil May Cry. I'm not saying that this isn't Devil May Cry because I just think it's bad and Devil May Cry can't be bad. I know Devil May Cry can be bad. I don't like the story of 5. I don't like Devil May Cry 2. I hate the fucking reboot. But it's like, it's a bit hyperbole, but it's like, those still capture, maybe not the reboot, but like they at least attempt to capture the essence of Devil May Cry. And the core theme of Devil May Cry has always been family. And it's always been family. It has always been family. Even Devil May Cry 2, Dante's motivation is his payment for the job is learning about his father. It's learning about Sparta. Like, the whole core and motivation, you notice the only job, like, every time we see Dante given a job that's not related to his family, he turns it down. In like the other anime, a little bit of Devil May Cry 5, but once he finds out he's invested, he has to know. It's personal for him. Everything good about the story stems from that theming of family. and that nobility that the Sparta lineage has. Even in Devil May Cry 1, after he fight Griffin, and Dante refuses to keep fighting because he knows that Griffin cannot win. He can't fight the way that in the condition that he is. And when he sees Mundus kill him, he's furious. He just like that made life easier for Dante. He doesn't have to fight the big chicken anymore. But he sees Dante, or he sees Mundus as like treacherous, like he sees it as low. Because even in Devil May Cry 4, he gives demons an opportunity to leave if they don't keep fighting him. Like, there's a nobility. Dante is a man who, and obviously this is before DMC 1, so I don't need Dante to have the guts and honor that he has, but he never feels like he now understands that with his family. He doesn't have that nobility. Because there is no nobility, because there's no, like, Sparta did something bad. They never present it as anything other than bad. And yeah, it's the film's painting it as bad, but when you're only getting that side, and then the series ends with humanity being the bad guy, this isn't how you do, if you wanted to do a political allegory, then, like, you need to have a level of depth. This is I'm 14 and this is deep. Like, this is humans are the real demons. All the good ideas are dropped. I don't care about Lady's squad or when they get wiped out. As cool as I thought it was going to be, it goes nowhere. Lady's character development, it goes nowhere because she still betrays Dante for a stupid reason, even after Baines went full mask off. Well, mask off enough for her to probably not trust him. And seeing that she can trust Dante. Even, like, in spite of everything that's happened, she can trust Dante. He's still willing to fight to protect people. Anyway, I'm sure that's not even close to, like, my full thoughts. This has just been a rant. Unscripted. I don't even know why I'm fucking wearing this. It is hot as shit right now. It is almost 70 degrees, and my room is already a hot box, so it's probably like fucking 80 degrees in here. But I needed to get this off my chest, because I've been looking forward to the show forever, and I really, really don't like this show. Like, from an honest point, I really think that it just failed to be what Devil May Cry is. Dante's weak, and he's not, like, he's just dumb. Lady's dumb. She gets too much screen time, and she's a little OP. I don't think she's too overpowered, but she's getting one over on Dante too much, especially after he starts taking it seriously. It's like there's too many characters that I just don't like or don't care about. I don't like the changes to the lore because they don't serve anything to make what I'm seeing. They don't serve anything. Is the best way to put it. They don't make me, like, they don't change the way I'm seeing them rooting for Sparta or for Dante, because I'm almost not rooting for Dante. I'm waiting for Dante to have a, like, more nuanced opinion where it's like, but I can't stop you. Because the fact of the matter is that, like, yeah, what Sparta did is fucked up, but, like, you're gonna kill, like, a bunch of innocent people. Like, you're gonna kill the people down the street that make pizza. They don't deserve to die for what Sparta did. Why do they deserve to be punished? Yeah, your people don't deserve to be punished, but, like, neither does fucking, you're gonna kill Shaq? You're gonna kill Shaq? Shaquille O'Neal? You're gonna kill Charles Barkley? Because Sparta was a little bit of a dick? Okay, one more thing. Because I'm now remembering it. For one, they always paint Sparta as, like, he abandoned his family, which, I mean, as of DMC 5 special edition, we know that Sparta played some part in raising Dante and Virgil before his death. But that's always been the thing. He left because he died. He died. He couldn't be there for his family. He was dead. Probably some, like, choosing to rescind his demonic heritage so he lived a normal life. That's probably a way. I mean, he always looks old as shit, so that's probably a way to view him. I mean, we don't know how he died, but we know he's dead. But even, like, they're as stupid as it is that Rebellion doesn't awaken Devil Trigger, the way they do it is through playing with Dante's emotions and making him go all out and become super emotional. But, like, they also, even after that point, view it as he abandoned and failed his family, which is like, bro, he was 8. He was 8 years old when Mundus attacked. One more thing. One more thing. Because I forgot to mention Lady's backstory. I mentioned it briefly, because, like, in the games, it's Arkham was seduced by the power of Sparta. He was seduced by demonic power and became a demon himself. In the show, it's because a demon attacked him and his family, and he gets lost in his demonic research trying to make himself more powerful to protect his family, and it goes wrong. And also, it goes wrong because he injects himself with demonic blood and it turns him into a demon. So it seems we're back to implying that demons are inherently evil because he turns into a demon and immediately kills Lady's mom. But like, this shouldn't be her motivation to hate demons, because that, like, I mean, her hatred of demons was never the part of her character. It was her father. The demons were just in the way. She didn't like demonic stuff because demonic stuff and power is what corrupted her father. But her beef was still with her father for killing her mother. But in the show, it's like, why did you join Darkcom? Because they also do demonic experiments. You should be more mad at research and experimentation of demonic stuff, because that's what killed your mom. It wasn't demons. It wasn't the lust. It wasn't his lust for demonic power. It wasn't corruption. It was a misguided attempt to protect his family. Arkham shouldn't be noble, and his name is John Arkham. Like, what is happening? Okay, I'm gonna wrap up for real this time. I don't like the show. It does not feel like Devil May Cry. I am not satisfied as a Devil May Cry fan. As someone who loves the games and loves the story that the games tell, even like 5, like, I've come around to 5 story quite a bit over the years since my review. Like, at least elements of it, like, I think like they all have a fundamental understanding of the family aspect of the series. That is what the show's about. Even like Trish becoming human because she found family in Dante. Like, I say becoming human, like becoming not evil because she found family in Dante. It's always been about family, and like, it's about how even demons can go against their nature. And a devil may cry, because if they felt that compassion, that's what humanity is. It's not being human. It's not having human blood, because people like Arkham and Sanctus are demons. They're devils. Even though they're human and have human blood, the things they do are demonic. They're evil. But then you have people like Sparta and Trish and Lucia, who, because they felt compassion from people like Dante or Eva, they have humanity. They have humanity that even some humans don't have. That's where it comes from. Humanity isn't the problem. Humanity is the concept. And most demons, yeah, they won't feel that compassion. They won't feel anything. They're like Ridley in the fucking Metro Zero Mission manga. Just kind of dicks. But some can feel the compassion and be compelled to do the right thing. And all that's absent from the show. Just to tell some America bad plot, or humanity's the real demons. And it just doesn't make sense. They try so hard to like make Lady cool, and it all fails, because honestly, the dialogue is just as bad as the reboot, with needless swearing and just constant reminders that she doesn't like demons. And you could tell it's because she keeps calling them. I'm expecting her to start busting out in racial slurs. Like, the story does not, first of all, like we're wrapping up. But like, the story does not if it wants to do the political allegory, it needs to give that time to develop and have depth. It doesn't. It's sprung on us at the last minute, pretty much. I mean, the humans are the real demons aspect. That's just bad all around. But like, it's just the vice president constantly talking about God's will and God's plan. Like, I guess that's hinting towards him trying to invade the demon world. But first of all, that shouldn't work. And second of all, like, because of everything they've changed to the lore, they can't present. They change too much of the lore and then try to present things the same way they are in the games, but it doesn't work anymore because they didn't care. They didn't take care when they changed the lore to make it still work. Even in an isolated thing, even without the Devil May Cry name to it, the characters are too shallow. They don't develop. They're not interesting at best. They're very annoying at worst. The cool parts are, like, Dante loses too much. He uses like underhanded tactics to win too much. So like, the action scenes are okay. The Devil Trigger looks like dog shit. But like, the story just doesn't work. The political part, it doesn't work because they didn't cook with it. They didn't do anything with it. The Virgil stuff, go fuck yourself. The Dante and Lady stuff, it doesn't work because their dynamic never shifts. There's never a moment where you feel like they understand each other and have become close. Close enough that at the end of Devil May Cry 3, Dante names his shop after something that Lady said to him to make him feel better about himself. To remind him to show her development and remind him that despite him being a demon, he still has humanity. And that's not just because he has a human side, it's because he was able to shed tears over the person he went there to kill in the first place. Just like Lady did. Lady in the show is not Lady, she's Mary. The joke I've seen people make is calling her Mary Sue. I wouldn't go that far, but she does, like, she is a little. She's not too powerful. I think the issue is Dante's too weak. But anyway, that's my rant review, my wise rant view. 7 years, man. I was super excited for this show. I've had a few more hours to sit on it, and I want to give a better, more concise, like, here are my final thoughts. I enjoyed most of the show as I was watching it, but looking back after the ending, it doesn't feel like they understood Devil May Cry because of the changes of the lore that go against the fundamentals of the series and kind of just makes Dante useless as a character. But then also, Lady's arc is undone at the end, and looking at the ending, it doesn't feel like a cliffhanger. It doesn't feel like a cliffhanger. It feels like an unfinished season of television, especially because of Lady's character. It makes it feel unfinished. So I'm not satisfied with what was there. Maybe if maybe if there were 8 more episodes or 4 more episodes or even 1 more episode, it could have brought me back, but it really just highlighted the misunderstanding of everything Devil May Cry. And while I could have given it a pass before, the ending changed it from something that might not have been fully Devil May Cry, but hit the beats well enough that I'd have been satisfied, to something that I don't even enjoy as a TV watcher. I don't even like it as a piece of, like, media. If you remove the Devil May Cry stuff, I still think the story is bad. I still think the ending sucks and ruins all the good stuff done in the last 7 episodes. And the fact of the matter is, I don't think that there's anything the show does, not the characters, not the story, not the action, that isn't done better in the games. DMC3 does Lady's character arc in less time, in less screen time for Lady, with more depth, more nuance, and more emotion. You know, she feels like a more nuanced, fleshed out character in like 1 hour of screen time than she does in this entire show. You know, the fights feel way more kinetic and unique. They don't feel like anime sword fights. They feel unique. They feel like Dante. It's a weird thing to say, but it's like they feel like Dante. And it only happens a couple times in the show where I was like, that's some Devil May Cry action as opposed to just some standard sword fights or gun fights. And overall, with the lore and the themes, the original games just have better stories. And again, it's just I see a lot of people acting like, oh, fans like, or it's not canon, so like, what does it matter? Or it's just fans who just aren't happy and they hate when things are different. But does that really devalue my issues? If my issues are stemming from the fact that it's called Devil May Cry, and we have an example of this story done better. The government stuff is done better with the Order of the Sword in Devil May Cry 4. Lady's character is done better in Devil May Cry 3. Dante's character is done better in Devil May Cry 3. So, like, is it so crazy for me to ask, what's the point of this if it's just the thing I like but infinitely worse?